All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Call to order the meeting of the Board of Adjustment, April 15th, 2025, for Winterville, here in the Assembly.
Good evening, Board. We do have two agenda items today. And when it rains, it pours. We have another one next month as well. So we've been kind of quiet for the past while, but now we've got three just like that. Again, thank you for being here tonight, April 15th, 2025. We have, the first one tonight is going to be a special use permit for Davenport Farm Road. It's a Class A single-family or multi-sectional mobile home, as we'll discuss right here in a second. So this is the site that we are going to be looking at tonight. This is Reedy Branch Road going north to south right here. This is Davenport Farm Road going east to west. So you've got Sam's Club right here, Pitt Community College right here, just to kind of give you a little bit of an understanding where we are. And this is Highway 11 running right here. The applicant is Blaney and Ardith Moy. These are the property owners. Again, this is the southeastern corner of Davenport Farm Road and Reedy Branch Road. The mobile home is being proposed near 237 Davenport Farm Road, but the exact location will be dependent on the perk test. The entire site is a 43.31 acre site, although this will be subdivided for this home in order to build a home. There are already homes on this parcel. The zoning is agricultural residential. We placed a sign on the property, 2 legal ads within the Daily Reflector, and mailed notice to adjacent property owners and those within 100 foot as required by state statute. Again, looking at the site, we are right here, again, Reedy Branch Road, north to south, Davenport Farm Road, east to west. The applicant is expecting to place the home roughly in this location. So they actually live in this home right here currently. But they will be building this multi-sectional double wide just near it. Again, the applicant wishes to place a single-family, Class A single-family home. A Class A single-family home is a mobile home with multi-sectional or multi-sectional mobile home that meets the HUD requirements. Class A single-family home is a special requirement within the agricultural residential zoning district. So just going over the special requirements fairly quickly, the home shall have a length that does not exceed 4 times its width. Home shall not have a side that's less than 20 foot, shall have a certain pitch to the roof, shall have vinyl or aluminum lap siding or some type of siding that is commonly used within residential construction. It must be on a permanent brick foundation. The tongue, axles, transportation lights, and towing apparatus must be removed on final placement. The home must be placed on land owned by the mobile home, so the home and the land both have to be owned by the same person, and that it will be listed as real and taxed property. And lastly, the requirement that the mobile home must be parallel to the front property line. So the front of it would be facing the long way to the front property line. The applicant within their application, they directly identified each of these and answered each of them directly. So they were saying that their home meets the standard for not exceeding 4 times the widths, that the minimum size side will be 28 foot exceeding the 20 foot, that the pitch will be within the required pitch, that vinyl siding will be used and the roof will have architectural shingles, and other statements that they will be meeting all of the requirements within the special requirement. Staff's recommendation for this is to review the special use permit and the special requirements to determine if this is appropriate use and location. We will go ahead and invite the applicants up for comments prior to inviting the public for public comments.
Okay, we do need to get them sworn in.
We will need to get them sworn in, yes.
Yeah, if anyone's speaking for or against this particular agenda item, please step up.
Yeah, she told me I was gonna call. Sir, Alan Moy, Blaney Moy on the application. Blaney.
Anyone else? Mr. Moore, you're speaking for, correct?
Yeah, she told me I was gonna speak.
Okay. Anyone else would like to speak for or against this measure? All right.
All right.
We can
Well,
proceed.
I don't know what you want to know, but we've been living there for 27, 28 years. We built that house. It was built by Lee Cherry. And our daughter is in a position with her children to look for something. She's renting a condo. So we're gonna sell her our house. And then that's what we want to do, is put this unit back behind it. We're looking to downsize. She has some health issues. I've had 2 knee replacements, and all our bedrooms are upstairs. We had Charlie Humphrey, who's one of the environmental people that can permit septic systems. He was there yesterday, and so he's going to have that approved and drawn out as soon as he can get that done. As far as the mobile unit itself, it talks about siding. We're talking to Dana Miller at Dynasty. I've known him for many years. Our plan is they have an upgraded vinyl siding than what they normally put on stuff, and that's what we're going to put on this. From the picture you saw, it's going to actually go a little further back and a little more toward Reedy Branch Road, because that was the area back behind there that he got the soil samples that he needed for the system. I don't know what else you need. I'll answer any questions you have. I've looked at this a lot.
If it doesn't pass the perk test,
It has.
it has, okay.
Yeah, he
So
spent
you won't need a mound system.
Well, I may need a mound system out there. You know, we had a perfect section early up further, but years and years ago, that front section apparently was very wet up near Davenport Farm Road, and her father, James Little, had put in some tile out in that area. So that moved us further back, which is no problem.
The road work on Davenport Farm Road, is that going to hinder putting,
Stephen, I think
Do what now?
this is a question for the town, I think. Right.
Huh?
You were asking about a road that's going in? Yeah, Stephen, I think this one's for you.
the one that it's the one that your mobile home is going to face.
It will face Davenport Farm Road.
Right. I thought there was construction on Davenport Farm Road.
They've already done some construction on it. They replaced the culvert right there in the curve by John Deere Place a week or 2 ago, and they're doing something way down the road now on the other side of the creek.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 10 months they're going to be doing this.
Yeah,
So they're going to mess up.
yeah. I'm hoping to go in there and widen that road a little bit. I mean, there's a hole in front of our house about this deep, about that wide for tractor trailers. Actually, I have a post office box now because I got tired of putting up new mailboxes on that road. So I have a P.O. box in Winterville now.
That's the only access we have to the bypass is Davenport Farm Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Moore? I did have a question for you,
Okay.
Stephen. So,
Yes, sir.
what was the main reason for the planning board rejecting? Because it looks like it met most of the requirements. What was their reasoning behind rejecting?
This hasn't been before
Oh,
the
I
planning.
thought, okay, this is just special use permit.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha, okay. I thought this was my mistake.
Oh,
My
no worries
apologies.
at all. No, sir.
So, all right, misunderstood. All righty, I think that's, anyone else would like to speak?
And just for the minute, since, Mr. Williams was speaking as the applicant, open the public hearing.
Yep.
Ask who'd like to be in favor again. I think you probably can accept his comments as in favor also.
Okay, perfect. All right, so with that,
I'm for it, yeah.
so with that, get a motion to open the public hearing. Mr. Reynolds?
Second.
No, second. Mr. Killian. Anyone else would like to speak on this from a public standpoint? All right, we're good? All right, with that, I need a motion to close the public hearing. Motion. Mr. Reynolds? Mr. Johnson? All in favor? Aye. There we go. All right. So, Keen, I think this comes back to you. We've got to run through the application for the special use, is that correct?
That is correct, and I do have a template kind of order approving that you can use as the template for the vote. So first, we would do number 1, conditions and specs.
Let me make sure where I'm at here. All right, here we are. Number 1, conditions and specifications. All right, so we go each one, and then 3 all together, and then A, B, C, D, E individually. Is that correct, Keen?
Yes, sir. You'll read and vote on 1, 2, and then 3, you've got A, B, and under C, Stephen went over the SR3. I don't think you have to read all of those.
Okay,
Unless
good.
you want
Thank
to.
you.
You just vote on C by itself,
Okay.
and then you switch over to what the D and E.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
All righty, so with that, having heard all the evidence and arguments presented at the public hearing, the Board of Adjustment makes the following findings of fact. So we need an approve or not, right? We need four for 4.
A motion to approve it or a motion to deny.
Gotcha, okay. All right, start with the first one, conditions and specifications. That the application filed as a special use permit for parcel 13820 meets all of the required conditions and specifications of the zoning ordinance and policies of the town for submission of a public use permit. A motion to approve. Mr. Phillips, all in favor? We need a second. Take a second. Mr. Killian, a second. So all in favor? Aye. All right, looks like unanimous. Number 2, notice that those persons owning property adjacent to the proposed development or use as listed on the current tax records were served notice for the public hearing by mail in accordance with the applicable requirements, and that the notice of public hearing to consider the special use permit was published on April 2nd, 2025 and April 9th, 2025 in the Daily Reflector, a newspaper having general circulation in the area and required by law. Need a motion to approve? Phillips, Mr. Reynolds, I saw second. All in favor? Aye. All right, that's unanimous. All right, number 3, to hear and decide in particular cases and subject to appropriate conditions and safeguards permits for special uses as authorized by article in granting a special use permit, the board shall make the following affirmative findings. So we'll take each one of these individually. So number 1, the use requested is among those listed as an eligible special use in the district and in which the subject property is located. A motion to approve? To approve. Mr. Killian, Mr. Phillips, all in favor? Aye. All right, 3B, that the special use will not materially endanger the public health or safety if located where proposed and developed according to the plan as proposed. The motion, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Reynolds, all in favor? Aye. All right. So, and we're going to vote on C as a whole, correct, King? All right. So with C, we went through the Class A that it meets all the individual requirements for a mobile home on that lot for agricultural residential, that the special use meets all of those requirements and conditions. Need a motion to approve? Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, all in favor? Aye. All righty. and then D and E, correct, King? All right. That the special use will not substantially injure the value of the adjoining or abutting property, or that the use is a public necessity. Reynolds, second. Mr. Killian, all in favor? Aye. All right. The final one, that location and character of the special use, if developed according to the plan as proposed, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located and in general conformity with the plan of the development of the town and its environs. Motion, Mr. Phillips, Mr. Killian, second.
Did we miss one?
No, we took that as a whole. We took three as a
Okay.
whole. So, because that was what Stephen
Okay.
had gone through,
All right.
and they had met all that. All right, all in favor? Aye, so that's unanimous. So now we vote on the whole thing, right? Yes, sir. Was Mr. Killian and Mr. Reynolds, I believe. Catch him out of the corner of my eye. So we got to vote on the whole special use.
That's right, you've gone through the findings of fact,
Yeah.
now we just need a motion to approve the application.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve? Mr. Reynolds, second. Mr. Phillips, all in favor? Aye. All right. Mr. Moore, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Yeah.
And I'll give that information.
All righty, second agenda item. Moving on.
Okay, so we have a second one tonight that is a variance. So this variance application is for 237 Blunt Street. 237 Blunt Street is located right here. Let me get my. Located right here on the corner of Blunt, which goes from east to west here, and Academy, which is north to south here. So this is A.G. Cox Middle School, right here across the street from their property. Board of Adjustment sign was placed on the property. 2 legal ads were placed within the Daily Reflector, and adjacent property owners and those within 100 foot were also notified to meet state statute. The applicants here are the property owners of 237 Blunt Street. The property is a 0.35 acre site, again, just across from A.G. Cox Middle School. It's an R8 or residentially zoned district, single-family residential property. The owner desires to add a 6-foot fence onto their property. A portion of this fence goes just beyond the front of their house and therefore into their front yard. Our zoning ordinance requires if a fence goes within your front yard, the maximum height you can have is 4 foot. Again, they are wanting a 6-foot fence within their front yard. Looking at this image here, again, the applicant is stating that their house is across the street from the A.G. Cox Gym, and a fence would provide both privacy and safety for their property. As you can see, this is within our zoning ordinance to show how fences can be built. It's almost kind of a flipped version, so if you flip this image, then you would have a corner lot similar to this. So this grayed out area states 4 foot within that yard. Grayed out area is 4 foot within the street side yard. Of course, 6 foot could go within your side and rear yard on this property. This is also an image provided by the applicant. So this is their home right here. This is a row of fairly large evergreen trees, and I'll show you an image of that too. They want to place the fence just behind. This red line right here is the representation of the fence. So they want to place the 6-foot fence just behind the row of trees. So the fence that they are proposing, so they came into the office and they were proposing to do a 6-foot fence. And I said, unfortunately, you cannot do it within this area. So everything else, this location, all of that can be a 6-foot fence. Once this goes beyond the front of the house, that is where the issue came into play. And then the applicant pretty much stated, well, I've got a unique situation because I've got a school right in front of me, a lot of kids, a lot of noise, things like that. And this would allow them to have a little bit more privacy. This is looking at their home. So this is their home right here. Again, just across the street is A.G. Cox Middle School. This is the row of trees that they would be placing the fence behind. So it would be connecting to the carport roughly right here, then coming to the back of these trees, then going back to their property line and back to their backyard. Giving you a little bit of an image, just looking directly at those trees. Again, these are fairly mature and large evergreen trees. I'm sure years ago, before the lower branches died away, this provided a significant amount of privacy for the applicant. And now they're looking for a 6-foot privacy fence, again, behind these trees. Again, the property owner filed an application requesting a fence. We stated that he could not have it beyond 4 foot in the front property and has requested the variance. Does anybody have any questions for staff before we do open the public hearing, invite the applicant, and invite the public as well?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is the only fence request is from noise from the A.G. Cox School?
I will have to allow the applicant to answer that question. Yes, sir.
So I guess what we're considering is to approve that variance to go from 4 feet to 6 feet.
That's correct. So
Just on that front line.
that is correct. So the variance would encompass just this leg right here, and a tiny bit of this leg right here. Everything else would still be in compliance.
Is there existing fence already?
There is not an existing fence already.
Is this, on our requirements for the city of Winterville, does it have to be in line with the front of the house?
No, if it was in line with the front of the house, so if they were in line with the front of the house, they could have a 6-foot fence. If they go beyond the front of the house, the town requires it to be a 4-foot fence. So legally, they could have a fence there. It's just that the town requires it to be a 4-foot fence max there.
So if they came out directly from the house to the left, it could be 6 feet. Because they're coming out towards the road in front of the house, it's got to be 4.
That's correct, yes, sir. So if they just went directly across right here, then I could have permitted it without coming to you guys today.
Any other questions?
Thank
Okay,
you.
well, with that, I get a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Killen, second. Mr. Phillips, with that, anyone who'd like to speak on for or against this variance, please come up. We need to get you sworn in.
For the record, can we get your name? There you go. There you go. We'll get it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Do you have any questions other than what I've heard before? That I'm asking for this variance because if I follow the regulation now, I don't have a backyard. I've got the side yard. If I follow the regulation according to the city ordinance, I cut my side yard in half. And so I'm asking for the variance. I've got grandkids now. The wife and I are retired, and as she lovingly puts it, grand dogs. And I'm asking for this variance for a little privacy. The A.G. Cox School, since it's remodeling and all, has gotten a little busier than it used to be, and it's a little louder. And we're just looking for a little privacy. That's why I wanted the extra 2-foot tall fence. The majority of the fence goes behind my Leland pines. I've already discussed with my neighbors on the rest of it. You know, I'm just asking for the board to allow me to put my privacy fence up in front of my property.
Okay. And Mr. Killian, I think you had a question specifically. Are you good? I mean, I'm sorry, not Killian, Reynolds. Sorry, I was looking right at Mr. Reynolds. All right, any other questions for Mr. Potter? Okay, anyone else would like to speak for or against this measure? Okay, thank you, Mr. Potter. So with that, Keen, we walk through just like, we gotta have 4, right?
Yes, sir, close the public hearing.
Okay, all right, with that, get a motion to close. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, closing the public hearing, all in favor? Aye. All right,
And yes, sir, you've got these, you've got the order in front of you, you've got A, B, and C.
and then each one of the 4, right?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. All right, so we'll need a motion to approve or deny on each one of these as I read them aloud, so we'll stop with each one. So conditions and specifications. Having heard all the facts and evidence and arguments presented at the public hearing, the Board of Adjustment makes the following findings of fact. Conditions and specifications. That the application filed as a variance application for the property listed meets all the required conditions and specifications of the zoning ordinance and policy of the town for submission of the variance application. Get a motion to approve that one. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, second. All in favor? Ayes. Approved. Notice those persons owning property adjacent to the proposed development or use as listed on the current tax records will serve notice of the public hearing by mail in accordance with the applicable requirements, and that notice of the public hearing to consider the variance was published on April 5th, 2025 and April 12th, 2025 in the Daily Reflector, a newspaper having the general circulation in the area and required by law. Motion to approve. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, second. All in favor? Aye. All right. And then variances. So we'll go through this and then we'll vote on each one of these. When unnecessary hardships will result from carrying out the strict letter of a zoning regulation, the Board of Adjustment shall vary any of the provisions of the zoning regulation upon showing all of the following. Number 1, an unnecessary hardship results from the strict application of the ordinance. Get a motion to approve. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, second. All in favor? Approve number 1. The hardship results from conditions that are peculiar to the property. Motion. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Killian, all in favor? Aye. The hardship is not self-created hardship. Motion. Mr. Phillips, Mr. Johnson, all in favor? Aye. And number 4, yes, sir. Mr. Johnson and Mr. Phillips. Yeah. And then finally, the requested variance is consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the ordinance, such that public safety is secured and substantial justice is achieved. A motion to approve. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Killian, all in favor? Aye. So whereas the Board of Adjustment did find in favor of the applicant by an affirmative vote on all the criteria listed above, we need to get a motion overall, correct, King?
Yes, sir, that's
Okay.
correct. This is the majority, so.
Okay. Okay. Get a motion, Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, all in favor of the overall approving the variance? Aye. All right. With that, that is an approved variance. Mr. Potter, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll provide that zoning compliance to you as well. Thank y'all.
All right. Anything else, Stephen? Next month, we got.
Yeah,
more
next
on the
month
docket.
we have a meeting. It's gonna be on Monday. We're gonna start at 7:30, so that Tuesday, the council has a board budget meeting. I know Mr. Reynolds isn't crazy about that one, but yeah, so we appreciate everybody coming out tonight and coming out next month as well. I hope everybody has a great Easter. On the back page, I have provided just some of our upcoming projects. So I've listed out some commercial projects and some residential projects just to give some highlights of some activity going on in town. Really, right now, we do not have a lot of residential lots on the ground, extremely high demand. There's a lot of people trying to get lots ready to get on the ground, but we are really at a kind of a slower period right now. We really need some lots on the ground. Last night we did final plat 40 lots, so we will have at least some coming. But we do have a lot of developers looking at some sites, getting stuff planned and ready. One of the commercial sites I'll kind of point out is the Vernon White House. As you've seen, they're cutting down some trees over there. We have finally received a preliminary plat that would show 5 different commercial lots on that 14-acre site. It doesn't show what will be on that site yet, but it does show that they are, coming along and coming forward with some commercial activity on that site. So we're pretty excited about that. Yes, sir.
Question, what was the original application for that site?
The original application?
What did they ask for on the original?
You're saying the zoning?
Somebody, the zoning was.
Zoning, yes.
The zoning general business.
And
That's correct.
then we're going to go for, business on the same lot?
Yes, sir. Well, it'll be
They'll
separate.
still fall within the category they applied for originally?
Yes, sir. Yeah, in fact, once you get a zoning district, then they would have to follow the zoning of that district. Yes,
And
sir.
I don't understand why were not fined for not cleaning up that lot sooner than they have. That has been the nastiest looking place.
I'll put you in contact with, our code enforcement and,
All right? Do
yes,
that.
sir. Are there any other
Any other questions?
questions for staff?
All right, anything, King? Oh, you got a question?
No, I'm just gonna make a motion.
Oh, I was gonna say, anything, King? Don, you have anything you need to follow up? We good?
Thank y'all. Have a great Easter.
All right, get a motion to close. Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Phillips, all in favor? Aye, that closes the meeting. Thanks, everyone. Green, I was glad I don't have to go that way.
I remember that, yeah.
All this change.
I hate they tore that street down.
It don't fall in the same category. And then, I go by there and it's the worst looking